When an insurance adjuster calls you after an accident, every word you say could cost you thousands of dollars. These people aren't just taking notes. They're trained to get you to say something that weakens your claim. The adjuster will ask, "How are you feeling today?" Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. It's actually a trap. I'm Peter Jarasyi, a personal injury lawyer, and in this video, I'll expose the hidden tactics insurance adjusters use and exactly how to respond to protect yourself. Stick around, because there's one mistake that could tank your entire case and have you walking away with nothing. Now, most people think that insurance adjusters are out there to help you, right? They call you and they're super nice and they make it seem like they're going to help you navigate this process. But at the end of the day, what you have to remember is that they work for the insurance company. What they're really trying to do is minimize the amount of payouts the insurance company has to make. That's their job. They are literally trained to get incriminating statements from you that can hurt your case. I mean, think about it. If an insurance adjuster was really there to help you and was there to get you the most out of your claim and make sure you were taken care of, the insurance companies would go out of business. Understand this, insurance companies are a for-profit business. They are there to make money. And the less they pay out to claimants, the more money they make. And this is something that happens at day one with them, right? The insurance adjusters are trained from day one on how to pay out as little as possible. But they can't just do that without building up their case and making it so that your case looks worse. So here are some common tricks that they like to use to minimize the value of your case or make it look worse. The first thing they do, and the most common thing, is to pretend to be friendly. They'll ask questions like, "How are you feeling today?" All innocently, right? You think they're being so nice to you. That's a trap question. You wouldn't think it would be, but it's a trap question. Let's break it down. How are you feeling today? Right? Seems innocent. If you answer that question with, "Oh, I'm doing fine," or "I'm okay," the insurance company is going to take that and plaster it all over your case and say, "On this date, this person, this claimant said they were fine. We're not going to consider anything past this if they come back and try to claim injury." You can see how an innocent answer like that can mess up your case right from the beginning. Well, you might say, "Well, that's not reasonable. I just say I'm fine or I'm doing fine. Like that's what everybody says." But unfortunately, that's not how it works. And like you hear in the movies, everything you say can and will be used against you. So if you tell the insurance company, "I'm okay," they're going to take that to mean, "Well, he's not injured, so we don't have to pay anything." And the problem is we're humans, right? We just answer that in normal conversation. But when you're talking to an insurance company, you are not in normal conversation. Every single word matters. That especially holds true when they ask for recorded statements and you agree to give one. Most phone calls with insurance companies and insurance adjusters are recorded anyway, but they have these things called recorded statements where it's effectively an interview with you where they go through and ask you a set of questions to get a sense of what happened on the date of the wreck. It's also another formal opportunity for them to get something out of you that could potentially damage your case. What you have to understand before anything is that you are not required to give a recorded statement. But the thing is, these insurance companies pressure you into thinking, "Oh, you have to give one, you have to give one," because the thing is, that's their moneymaker. That's where they get to lay into your case. Knowing your rights in a situation like this can make all the difference. When the adjuster requests the statement, you politely tell them no. Now, there is a caveat here. When you're speaking to your own insurance company, you are required to give that recorded statement. When we're dealing with the other person's insurance company, you are not. Now, if you choose to speak with the adjuster, even though you're not required to, here's what I'd recommend when you're answering those questions. Stick to the facts. Stick to who, what, where, and when. Nothing extra. Keep it short, no extra details, no small talk. Don't ever go outside the conversation where you're detailing everything that occurred. And my suggestion to you would be to stay away from any talk regarding the specificity of your injuries and the extent of your pain. If they ask about injuries, just say, "Yes, I was injured and I am injured, but I don't know the full extent of my pain and I don't feel comfortable discussing that right now." The idea is that when you have a full understanding of your injuries, you can submit a demand package with your medical records that detail everything, so you're not left trying to explain all this medical terminology and the extent of your injuries yourself. And again, never speculate. If you don't know the answer to a question, say, "I don't know." Oftentimes, the insurance adjuster will ask, "How fast was the other guy going?" Well, you didn't have a radar detector. How are you supposed to know? At the end of the day, you'd only be guessing. And finally, don't admit fault, even partially. Nothing good will ever come of that. So let's take one of the most common questions that the insurance adjuster will ask. "How are you feeling after the car accident?" Now, the bad response or the incorrect response to this would be, oh, I think I'm feeling okay, or I think I'm feeling fine. The reason that's a bad response is because you're basically telling the insurance company that you're fine, that nothing's wrong with you, and that you don't have any injuries. And that if you try to come back later and say you were injured, they're just going to play back your recording and say, hey, you just told us you were fine. And so effectively what you've done is shut the door on any potential future treatment that you may need based on what you sustained in the accident. Now, the appropriate response to that question is, I am hurt, I'm in pain, but I'm not really sure what the extent of my injuries are. I need to get evaluated. This way you've made it clear to the insurance company that you were hurt as a result of the crash, but you're also leaving the door open for yourself to go get evaluated to really get the full understanding of what it is that happened to you. Alternatively, and frankly my favorite answer is to say, I'd prefer to have my lawyer answer that. Frankly, that should be your answer to every question that they have. That way you're protecting yourself from saying anything that could potentially ruin your claim. The fact of the matter is, having legal representation in a case immediately changes the game. Oftentimes you'll find that they'll change adjusters as soon as an attorney steps into the case. That's because an adjuster has to be extra careful about what they say around an attorney, because an attorney knows how to take advantage of what the adjusters do. And what you have to realize is at the end of the day, when an attorney steps in, it results in higher numbers and fewer tricks played by the insurance companies. The insurance companies know that the attorneys know their game, so they don't even bother messing with them when they know an attorney's involved. We just covered how to answer all the questions of an insurance adjuster and how to protect yourself from their greedy tactics. But what do you do if you get into a car accident and the other driver tries to blame you for something that was clearly their fault? Check out this next video where we teach you exactly how fault is determined and the steps to take to keep yourself safe.